Everybody, you're listening to God Spice with Greg and Kirti.
Oh, that brings me back to one of the stupid challenges that we did.
I almost fucking spit this out.
I'm like, swallow, don't spit.
So,
Yes.
so interesting. So that's not the tight and smooth. That's just the smooth, which then leads to a swallow versus a spitting.
Oh my God.
So the spitting reminds me of, remember that? So we were talking last evening.
How do you even transition this?
No,
I so am waiting.
And what are we transitioning to?
I'm waiting for the roadmap on where we're going because this could go to so many places.
Well, this is like benign. So we were like chatting about like these stupid TikTok challenges that, we're doing every once in a while. And one that we absolutely did not want to do, which is like the tortilla smack. And so we refused to do it. And then all of a sudden one night we had friends over and we were having like a little holiday party around Christmas time. Yeah. And our friends like, oh yeah, let's just do it. And so we end up doing it with friends. And we're sitting there and you have to put water in your mouth and you smack. And essentially the first person to spit, water loses. And so we're doing this, and then all of a sudden, just talking about that you're almost going to spit just brought me back to that moment where all of a sudden we just start laughing hysterically, and I just like projectile the water that's in my mouth like all over the place.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on a very different side of TikTok.
Yeah. Although you were spewing like champagne shit out of your mouth when we were doing that special.
That wasn't a
what
trend.
Were those called?
That was just a Kirti. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, she had like foam, like just like
I like
white
to say
foam protruding out of her mouth.
I'm creating trends by just not doing trends.
What was that? Our friends brought over this wedding gift that they had received, and they were champagne funnel glasses. So you basically fill the champagne up.
Wait, it was a beer bong for champagne, basically?
Yeah. Was it called the champagne bongs? I think champagne bongs. And so we were doing them on New Year's. Oh, yeah. So we were doing that, and all of a sudden it just comes all out.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, this champagne really does
what side of TikTok are you guys on, though?
What do you mean? There's different sides?
For You page. Like, what do you guys normally see?
I see all sorts of weird things.
Mine's typically like, well, the thing is, we were talking about it last night. We basically, in every social channel, we have 3 handles because we have our personal and then the Got Spice one. And so on my handle, and you're always making fun of me, my handle's always full of like half naked women.
I'm like, why are you always being served up these weird?
I mean, to be fair, I also get them.
Okay, good. So I'm just being targeted with that. And then like, what is yours?
Mine is
half
like
naked women.
No, I get like travel. I get
That's so
cosmetic
wholesome.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's like
I get.
wah-wah.
No, well, I'm the one who books all our travel.
I know.
Okay.
You're an awesome travel agent, 100%.
And I also get like cooking tips. I get skincare tips.
So like,
I just get scantily clad women.
I'm on like cosplay TikTok, which is one of my favorite places to be. I'm currently on capybara TikTok. I'm getting a lot of capybaras. Have you seen the Cheese to X song for like dogs getting cheese out of the fridge?
No, what is that?
What the hell does that even mean?
Later. It's, oh my God.
Dogs are getting cheese.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's the side that I'm on. Also a lot of goats.
Goats.
So Instagram.
But you don't like goat milk cheese, right?
But I love goats.
Oh, you like goats.
Oh, so that's interesting.
They're adorable
but on
and precious.
Insta, my feed is very distinct from his.
Yeah.
He just gets naked women served up on any platform.
I mean, come on, you look like me. They're all like, it's advertising. They're advertising to me.
Sure, whatever. That's what you think. So I get like a lot of dogs and animal cuteness, and that's what you will predominantly see in my stories because they make me happy.
Mine is like so animals and hair
They're so
and
fucking
memes
cute
on Instagram.
And I get llamas and I get alpacas because those are my spirit animals. Llamas and alpacas.
I feel that. See, cats for me. Like I have a cat and a dog.
Oh my God, I should send you these cute cat ones that keep coming my way.
I get so many of them already.
There's this fat cat with this tiny little baby cat that I got this morning, and I sent it to my middle sister because she's cats.
Yeah.
She's a cat lady, so I sent it to her.
See, my cat, I love him to death, but he is an asshole. But also, like, he's a cat, so that makes sense.
Cats are supposed to be assholes.
Yeah, but like he loves me, but he's also plotting my murder, I'm pretty sure. And he hates everybody else.
What's his name?
Felipe.
Felipe.
So when I got him, like it was last June or something like that. He was 8 weeks old and
he's a baby still.
Yeah, less than 2 pounds, little black kitten. His name was Felipe. And it made me laugh so hard because, like, that name, I think of like a super big, bulky dude.
Yeah.
Not this tiny little kitten. I started just like laughing to
Like
the
a
point.
Brazilian soccer player or something.
Like I'm looking at somebody who could like fuck shit up if they wanted to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
not little kitten. And he has lived up to the name. But yeah, that's his
And he's
name.
plotting your murder.
Yeah, he's plotting my murder.
Wow. And then is the dog like, does the dog get beat up by the cat?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to be clear, my cat is 10 pounds. My dog is 70. She's a lab.
Okay.
But also, she's a lab. She doesn't fight
Yeah.
back.
I thought you were going to
Like,
say at first, before you said 70, my brain registered 7. So I was thinking where you were going with this. My cat's 10 pounds and my dog is 7
No,
pounds,
Yeah.
but 70.
my cat is the same size as my dog's head.
Wow.
And my dog just like takes it. I'm like, fight back. Like, don't like bite him because you might actually hurt him. But
You
like,
might eat him.
Well, you know,
but like, she just lets herself get bullied by him. And I'm like, buddy, like, what are you doing? And then
like labs are docile, right?
yeah, she's so chill.
well, the dog likes its pussy.
And there we go again.
What? It's a pussy cat. That's a proper
Just keep
term.
explaining it and let's see how far down the hole this one goes.
It is a proper term for a cat, a feline, to be called a pussy cat.
Okay.
You are
There
correct.
is a child's movie called Puss in Boots,
Okay.
Okay.
right?
That's valid.
That's valid.
That's not,
I take
It's not my fault. Your minds went to the gutter.
That is you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are correct
you're
on the
right.
fact there's a movie called Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, and not even one. It's like they're made like 3 of them now,
No, there's
There's
wait,
probably
is
like
there
four
three?
of them.
or is there 4?
Wait.
We just saw a new one.
We just saw the new one. Yeah, it just came out.
There's a new one?
Yeah,
Came out a couple months ago.
with Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas.
Yes, and we
Antonio
watched it.
Banderas.
And we watched it with the kids because it's
Well,
a
I put it on-
children's
It is a children's movie.
movie.
Except there's a lot of innuendo.
It's the same as like Shrek has.
Yeah.
Like Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They have like all these double entendres that are just like the whole time though. Kieran's older, so she kept like looking at me like, "Oh my god, that's a joke for parents."
Yeah.
Like
The best was like my favorite was like old Cartoon Network shows because I rewatch them all the time because
they are full of double entendres,
It's so good
and they're so well done.
I think
really
50% of
is.
them are basically banned now. When I look at, I remember years
They're
ago,
banned.
a lot
They're
of them
the
are on
cartoon-
HBO Max.
Yeah.
HBO Max.
Yeah,
They're
they're
on
on
the
HBO.
Cartoon
When you look
Network,
at-
like the cartoons, Adult
Yeah.
Swim, like that whole thing.
When you look at like old school Looney Tunes and cartoons from, I don't know, probably the 50s, 60s, they are just inappropriate, like across the board,
Well, those are
racist,
just,
prejudiced,
like,
everything.
They're racist and violent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I have to say, some of the weird grown-up-y cartoons that Kieran watches,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like stunned with the outlandish jokes in them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's one with like
Yeah.
a horse.
Oh, BoJack Horseman.
That's it.
I've never actually seen that one.
I was shocked.
So like the cartoons that I go for are like Futurama, which so stoked for the comeback on that one. Like Disenchantment, which is made by the people from
Oh,
Futurama.
yes, I used to watch that with my
like
daughter.
that Bob's Burgers, like
Bob's Burgers.
it's so good.
I could actually see you potentially liking that if you like that style, not animated, but it was partially, I think animated. Was it Mystery Science 2000 where it was the guy and he had like his robot friend and then someone else. They used to sit in a movie theater and critique like old movies.
This honestly weirdly sounds familiar, but it also sounds like it could have been a fever dream I had at one point. So
It was like a big show. I don't know, maybe
I
like
do not
10,
know what
10
you're
years
talking
ago.
about.
Yeah. No, it's they critique like old movies from like the 50s.
I have
and
heard
the 60s.
about something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember the name of it.
I forget which channel it was on.
Well, look, guys, you can watch a Disney movie and Simba will roll down the mountain and the word sex will appear in clouds.
Oh my god, I love all the theories of that. Or like
It really
the
is
penis
there.
in the
Little
castle
Mermaid?
on Little Mermaid.
Yes. Yeah.
They're really there.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking the castle. I was thinking the Little Mermaid Is it when do they get married in The Little Mermaid? I think they're on the boat, and then there's like
I feel like they got married.
They get married.
Yes,
I think
Prince Eric and Ariel get married.
Someone pulls out like a scene where the chaplain or the priest himself like has an erection.
That one is not one I heard of.
No, I've never heard that. The one I saw was like for The Little Mermaid. It was on the cover
It's like
in the
castle.
That's the one I was talking about.
But like, and when Simba rolled down the mountain, the cloud spells out sex.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's not the cloud, it's the stars.
That's it, the stars.
The stars, yeah.
The stars. Do they really? Does it say sex?
Yeah.
There's all these weird
Well,
hidden...
like, here's the thing. Like, people draw it out as spelling it. It's not confirmed whether, like, it was...
The animator actually...
Yeah.
I've heard the animators put the shit in for shits and giggles.
I just so hope they did. It makes it so much better.
It's like clever animation.
Yeah.
You know, but speaking of speaking, we were talking about something earlier, and I don't want to lose sight of that topic.
I'm glad you remember.
Yes,
About something tight and smooth,
no,
Or ribbed and rough.
or ribbed and rough.
not ribbed and rough, but more about understanding what neurodivergent means.
Yeah.
and
yes.
really, I think it's an important topic because I think when most of us think about any element of autism, there's these extreme perspectives on autism.
Definitely.
Well, there's
Right.
a whole extreme, like
There's a whole scale.
a spectrum, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's
across the board.
technically like autism spectrum disorder.
Correct.
So ASD. And like, I feel like a lot of people think of like, when it comes to autism, only people who are like nonverbal. Like but again, it's a spectrum on everything. So like, I know for me personally, like I have a lot of sensory issues. And like, I know a little bit like offset, we were kind of talking like the fact for me, I have a really hard time when I can't see faces. So like, I hate phone calls because I'm bad at reading vocal inflection, but I'm really I'm not really good at, but I'm better at reading like facial expressions. So like, it's kind of like a running joke of like, I kind of get the lost puppy expression sometimes of like, where it's not necessarily me confused by what somebody said. It's me going, was that a joke? Was that
Right.
serious? Or was that an insult?
So it's like
Like-
the interpretation
Yeah.
could be muddled.
Exactly. Like, because a lot of what I do, like now less consciously, but is like mimic people, which is like one of the things that's like kind of good as a slant. It's not like I'm being fake. I just naturally kind of tend to mimic people's behaviors. And so, but like it can get exhausting for one, like kind of always like having to put on a persona. Cause like if I don't put vocal inflection or I'm not like intentionally doing facial expressions or things like that, it kind of comes off as bitchy or rude. And that's been an issue in like relationships in the past and stuff. And like the way I like to kind of describe like masking, which is like when you're putting on that more like typical persona of what people expect is, you know, when you're talking to kids and you use like the children's, like the voice for kids.
Which I never did, even as a mother.
Yeah, but you like there's always a situation like that, or the customer service voice or whatever. It's like doing that, but all the time when you're around everybody.
Yes.
So, which is, I think, part of the reason, like, I'm in a super social job and I love what I do and I love getting to talk to my clients, but also I have to come home and kind of be like, okay, we're just sitting here now. Like, we're not actually talking to anybody. Like, I have a running joke. If I'm going to see somebody, I need to like plan it 3 to 5 days in advance. Like, I need 3 to 5 business days to mentally prepare for the fact that I'm going to be going out and be social.
Yep. Well, what's interesting about what you're saying is that, I mean, you hear me talk about this, is that for some, I get anxiety actually when someone calls me, or sometimes getting on the phone with people, or even sometimes just meeting. And I think sometimes people think I'm rude or I'm not picking up, but I actually have anxiety. I don't know why I have anxiety, but I just get this weird anxiety. But then after I'm on the phone with them, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it's just that anticipation.
It's that like to make the phone call or pick up the call.
And I think it's because I'm always trying to figure out, what do I say? How long should the phone call be? So instead of enjoying the phone call with, say, a friend or a colleague, is it long enough? And so, as you know, I end up like over talking, and like something that could be fine for like we have a friend that checks in with us all the time. He just called the other day, right? And he's cool. Just he just wants to call for like a quick. It could be 1 minute. It could be 5 minutes. He just wants to call to say hello. And for me, I should probably reach out to friends more often with that mindset. But I feel like I'm doing people a disservice by doing that because I feel like I need to be on for an elongated period of time to make it meaningful. But yet I'm trying to figure out what to say.
Well, I think you and I debate about this.
We do.
Because I'm the type of person who's like, just respond because it's important to be like present. And it's okay if my response is short. I'm like, I'll talk to you a little bit more later. But I'd rather just get back to somebody. Otherwise, they go into what I call the black hole of Never Land, and I will never, ever get back to them.
Yeah, I do both of the things, like simultaneously, where if I don't answer right away, I will forget about it. And then I feel horrible that I forgot about it, and then I feel anxious over the fact I forgot about it, so I never actually respond because I'm embarrassed I didn't respond.
That happens to me.
And then I also do the like, okay, like, just get it over with. Like, we're going to do this. And if it's somebody I know and like a person I care about and a person I love, like, I'm totally fine being on the phone and talking because I know their mannerisms already. But when it's like somebody new, or if I'm just like the dreaded like 818 whatever phone number where it's like there's not a contact, it's just a number.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, well, it's ringing, like Googling what phone number it could be.
So we get a lot of, I don't know if you get a lot,
so
we get a ton of spam. So unless I know who's calling. I've called like throughout the years. I've definitely like put in my number into the system for do not call. We have spam blockers, but still spam just makes its way.
It creeps
somehow.
down.
It just
I
creeps.
get so many from Illinois still. I get a lot from Texas. I've never lived in Texas, to be clear.
Why is that? That's weird.
I've also gotten a weird amount from Canada.
Canada.
Canada spam calling me.
That's interesting.
I get Nairobi.
Yep, I get especially in emails. Ton of emails from
Creepy.
Nairobi. Yeah.
Like I'm like, I don't know anyone out there. And then actual like just
Phishing schemes.
pure like Asian numbers coming in, like weird numbers.
I get Canada and I get Europe a lot as like the spam calls.
That is so weird.
But I'm also terrible about the fact I never put people in my contacts. And like I text people most of the time. And so I just like memorize what the number is compared to the conversation of who it was with, which is how I know I'm texting.
Yep.
And people give me shit for it all the time. Like if you look at my contacts, most of them don't have a name in them.
That's really funny.
And like I just simply know it by what the conversation is until I get too many of them. Then I like go through and I add everybody in.
Yeah.
So like the problem with calling then is I know the number based upon the phone conversation and I know who the person is. When it's a phone call, I don't have the context. So somebody can like call me and I'm going to be like, while it's ringing, like searching up all the numbers to like see who's calling to see if it's spam or not.
And you're like, oh, wait. Oh, it's the person I dated last night. Let me pick it up.
Well, I was gonna say
I think they would have my number if it was only one night. Come on.
I don't know. You're like you're a hairstylist. I don't know how you guys work. You know?
they have their own approach.
Yeah, they've got their own set of rules.
That's true.
You know, you
No,
might have
I
met
don't
some
ever
like
date
gorgeous
clients.
person like the day. Well, you could have been, I don't know, maybe styling at a fashion show, and you meet some gorgeous person there that you're not working with, but maybe it's another stylist or someone else there, and you're like, oh, let's go grab some coffee, let's get a drink, and spend a whole bunch of time together. Maybe you go home and you know.
I'm
have
honestly
fun,
the
and then-
worst about dating though. Like I just like I'm not super social anyways, and like there's dating apps, but like you have to go out to meet
I was
people.
actually ask you how this kind of neurodivergent experience for you and wanting to interact with people on a facial level.
Yeah.
How does that impact the dating experience?
So I'm not like my track record's not great on dating. Like I'm single most of the time, and I feel like part of it is I'm very comfortable in who I am, and I'm very comfortable in being alone. So my theory is for me to want to be dating you and spending that amount of time with somebody, I have to enjoy my time with you more than I enjoy my time with me. And like with my most recent ex, like part of the issue was like I'd be like, okay, these are like some quirks about me, and like if something seems weird, don't go necessarily like accusatory, but like say, hey, just clarifying.
Right.
Because I don't get sarcasm super easily. Like, I don't get subtleties super easily. Like, I need direct. Like, I'm not going to take a hint because I'm not going to realize there's a hint happening.
It's like, just let's communicate clearly.
Exactly. And like, he was also an extrovert, but he was somebody who worked from home that was an extrovert, and I'm an introvert who has a very social job. So you kind of see what the problem is there.
Yeah.
Like, I would come home and be like, I need 30 minutes. And he'd be like, so what's going on? How was your day? How was this? How was that? And I'm like, whoa.
Just give me time to decompress, recalibrate, and then I'm
And it was
ready
also
to
kind
give
of
you my
like
time.
the expectation then of like, well, I have an event I need to go to, so you're coming with.
Oh.
And like, I like going out and I like going to events and I like getting all cute and dolled up and all of that, but also like, I need warning on shit. And like, for
So
Well,
spontaneity.
you were just talking about that earlier,
Yeah.
where you just said you need like that 3 to 5 day preparation.
Yeah.
So if it's very spontaneous, it's challenging.
sometimes spontaneous is fine, but if it's a big thing where there's going to be a lot of stuff, just going out for like friends isn't necessarily always a big thing. But like, I also don't like super like fancy things most of the time. Like, it's fun to get dressed up, but I'm more of like, I want to go to Comic-Con or like stuff like that. Like, I'm a total nerd at heart. Like, I grew up on comics and like all the DC shows and all of that. And that's more my thing.
Yeah.
something less pretentious.
Exactly, where I can be more relaxed. I feel like when I'm in that like kind of pretentious setting, I'm not me.
Well, especially
That's so interesting.
as you're saying, so you're the gentleman you were just talking about in sales, and if you're saying like you come home and you have to go to an event, maybe it's like a dinner party, there's like 4 of you.
Yeah.
Because it's a work event, it's almost like you can't even be yourself anyway.
Well, he was a talent agent for like social media people.
Oh.
I love the immediate just
Yeah, so it's like-
understanding that
yeah.
crossed through.
So yeah, that's like a whole other challenge. But one thing you really said that I've been thinking about since you said it, and it was only literally about a couple of minutes ago, is that you want to be with someone that you love. You want to be in a situation where you love being with that person more than being by yourself.
Yeah.
And when I think about you over here, Kirti, is that, so we talk about this, like during the pandemic, a very good friend of ours is a divorce attorney. And it was like business boomed during the pandemic. 'Cause
Oh my
people were
God,
tired of
so
being with each
many.
other. For us, we talk about this all the time. We're the complete opposite. We loved and thrived on constantly being able to be around each other. And because
Yeah.
we love each other so much, and like even our love even grew even more. And still to date, we do not like to not be together. And so I completely understand what you're saying, because I love being with you a hell of a lot more than I love just being by myself. And
I agree with that. Like, we go and like, I go to meetings and it's like, we miss each other.
Yeah.
And
we
it's
try to find
physically go.
excuses to bring each other to meetings or like business engagements that the other person
Not
is
all the
otherwise
time,
not.
boss. Not all
Yes.
the time.
It
Yes,
doesn't
not
really
all the
happen.
time.
It's a
Not all the time.
hypothetical, just saying.
Yeah, hypothetical. Hypothetical situation. But sometimes we try to find if there's an invite that can be extended.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing for me is like, I don't necessarily fear being alone. Like, I'm comfortable in who I am, and that's a place I like being. So it's always been kind of somebody, it's like, well, you just have high standards. You just have that. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Well, I don't know if it's high standards. Maybe you're almost being, in my opinion, a little bit hard on yourself about having high standards. It's more about, are they adding a new set of values
No.
or augmenting your experience?
Yeah, I do like the
or-
term high standards, though, because
I
I'm
agree,
not
we should-
willing to
we-
settle
Well,
for...
agree. We shouldn't
Yeah.
just settle for garbage.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I think it's okay, whatever standard someone has, as long as it's like bringing new value.
That's exactly the thing for me is I'm like, I'm not going to settle just so I'm not alone. Like,
Right, no.
Because I can get social anywhere. Like, if I want sex, that's easy. Like, but if I'm going to truly be in a relationship with somebody, I don't want it to just be physical attraction. Like, that's obviously part of everything for it.
It's only one factor.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, I know myself, like my job is helping people. And that's ultimately what I love about my job. But sometimes I do tend to carry that elsewhere, and I'll allow people to use me as like their sole source of like, I'm used to kind of being the person to take care of people.
Yeah.
And like,
And
if
sometimes you might feel taken advantage of.
yeah, exactly. And it becomes almost like self-sacrificial at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's like you keep giving, but what do you get back?
that's the thing. Like, and I'm totally fine on giving, but also I don't want to always be the one. Like, sometimes I want to be able to be the one to have the breakdown.
Yeah.
And have that. But like with my job, I'm so attuned to other people because of it.
Yeah.
That it's very hard to turn that off. I'm like, but also I don't want to be somebody's mother.
Well, to me, it sounds like you've just got a lot of self-awareness, but at the same time, empathy.
Yeah.
But I would also add, it sounds like you're kind of like, don't waste my time or my space, because this
That's
is
exactly
my personal
it.
space. And whoever comes into that space needs to bring a set of like experiences or things that I'm going to learn or, grow into being someone else.
So I completely agree. As you said, the sex is easy. That partner
Yeah.
has to be able to like be, the cook of the household, the housekeeper, the cleaner, like do the laundry, all these other things that are incredibly important, because the goal of having a partner is to make your life easier.
Yeah.
So as long as they can provide all of those things, I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I want to be ignoring that. Me just immediately like, anyways. But no, like I want somebody where I can be able to relax with them
Yeah,
and
I
not
agree.
feel like I am doing everything all of
We
the
don't
time.
always want to be on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be able to turn off with somebody and just exist with them and have that peaceful existence with them. Like
Something harmonious.
Yeah, nothing is perfect. There's going to be fights in anything. There's going to be strain in anything, and that's completely fine. But are we able to communicate our way out of it? Or
Well, fights are really healthy.
fights
so
are
funny.
happy.
We were talking about
Not happy,
this
healthy.
on our way to LA, remember?
Yeah. And because I think what's great about our relationship is, one, we're very transparent. What we try to do is, before anything gets to that point where it is a fight, we'll just acknowledge if something is instantly bothering one of us, and we'll discuss it, we'll talk about it. And then sometimes just fights happen anyway.
It's as simple as, babe, you were a real dick about that just a while ago.
Or
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable right now.
No, I mean, I just say
Yeah.
you're a dick. And then he goes,
Like-
why'd you call me a dick? I was, because that's how it made me
Because you
feel.
were being one. And it's like, if I'm being a bitch, tell me I'm
Yes,
being one.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not perfect. I know I fuck up and
He'll be
shit like that.
And he very openly will be like, babe, you were just a little condescending just now. Like, that was
Yeah.
like, did not make me feel good. And I'm like, oh shit, I know I came across condescending. That was not my intention.
yeah, I feel like it's
Communication is really, really
It is.
critical.
And like with my ex, he would just snap about things.
Oh.
It wouldn't be a thing of like, hey, I feel like you're upset right now. It would be like, well, why are you acting all pissed at me?
But that's a selfish perspective.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just tired. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And we're human.
Yep.
And we don't always have to be happy.
exactly.
agree.
I'm like, or like, it's just like that kind of selfishness behind
Yeah,
things. And I'm
yeah.
like, I'm willing to give people a shot. I'm very much always the person of like, you haven't done anything wrong until you do it wrong. Like, I don't think people are inherently bad or selfish or anything like that. I feel like people can be, and they're more willing to hide it if they are.
Well, if you're a sociopath or a psychopath, they are inherently got something wrong.
they
But
are, but
If
like,
you're not on that side of the,
and
mental
that's very
state.
rare. But it's like most people aren't, but
No, I
also people aren't going to show their bad traits up front.
Nobody does.
No, we all want to pretend we're great
Talking
and
about
wonderful.
bad traits. So number one is, she's a Gemini, which means that there's always going to be two
Yes.
sides. And
I don't have two sides. I'm just bipolar.
but it just dawned on me. It just dawned on me. So she likes to eat during like senior citizen hour, which is like 4 p.m.
Do you really?
Yes.
I
yes,
do not like
yes.
eating dinner after like 6 or 7.
But I just figured out why that is. You don't like to eat after dark. And you want to know why you don't like to eat after dark? What happens when a gremlin eats after dark?
Did you see my tattoo?
Yes,
Is that
I
what's
just saw the
burning?
tattoo. You turn into
That's
this is what
hilarious.
happens when gremlins eat after dark.
I'm like, did you see that? Is that what spurred
yes,
it on?
They turn from the nice little furry, docile, gentle things to those.
I do. I doesn't
Yes.
work
So now I know why. I saw that movie when it first came out in the theater.
Oh, I love that movie. It's one
It's
of
a
my
great
favorites.
movie.
Like
Such
the
a
whole
great
sleeve
movie.
You know
is
what's
like
dubbed as a
horror
Christmas
things.
movie?
I know that's the best part about it. Yeah, no, this whole
So
sleeve
weird
is
that you
like
went
horror
Christmas.
things. We have
So in our family,
So cute.
I would say the predominant genre of movies we watch as a family are horror flicks. So we just watched this
Like
past
horrors,
weekend.
mysteries,
So
murders.
Saturday night we watched The Omen. Sunday night we watched The Omen 2.
Have you seen Orphan?
We have seen Orphan.
Oh my God, that's
actually
one of my
she's like your
favorites.
age technically in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Like Gremlins, Silence of the Lambs,
That's a
Pan's
great
Labyrinth,
movie.
So good.
like
Hands,
Clockwork Orange. Like I love thriller and like psychological horror.
do too.
Like I prefer those so much more to like I love slasher, don't get me wrong, but
But the slashers are a
They're
bit
not
much.
scary, though.
They're
No.
not scary.
It's just like
they're
a jump scare, which is like
They're not even jump
it's not
scare. They're
anticipation.
just gory.
They're gory.
They're like
Yeah.
guts being pulled
but
out.
some of
and
them
fake
like
blood
I
everywhere.
love, especially the early ones, because that's when like practical effects were getting super like intense.
Well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre
From
is the
1974.
best slasher.
Okay, so I plan on getting Leatherface tattooed on me at
Stop.
some point. I don't know where he's gonna go on here because Beetlejuice
he's
is gonna
so
go here.
scary.
Beetlejuice, that's cool.
The sandworm.
But he's really scary looking. You're
I know.
gonna get him on your arm.
I have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
But there's something sexy about him.
Mr. Hyde?
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I think I had this weird perspective on him.
No, I need so much follow up on this. I'm only kind of judging.
So do you want to hear something kind of bad? And the reason why I'm saying it's kind of bad.
Absolutely.
So it was during the pandemic. My daughter was with my ex for Easter. And so we had Kirti's daughter with us. So it was the three of us. Now it's Easter Day, and granted, I'm the Catholic one, so we're like having a nice Easter meal. We're not doing anything religious, but we're having a nice Easter meal. They're not Catholic.
Oh, but is this when we were in Nantucket?
No. This is when we were in the apartment in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
And what we decide to do on Easter Day, this is like sacrilegious. We decide to watch all three Amityvilles on Easter Day.
I love that for you so much, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my
Yes.
like dream date, but this is, I feel like this has to be partway into a relationship, is all of the Conjuring movies, but in chronological order.
We love the
So,
Conjuring
but I want to
movies.
watch all of them in a row in chronological order, which turns out to be about, I think it's 27 hours right now.
Yeah.
So I need somebody who's like down for the commitment for
Well,
this.
if you ever want to hang out with friends and you come to New York,
Absolutely. I've
We
never
will
been
do
to
that.
New York.
how is that possible?
Really?
You're Illinois originally. Everybody makes a stop in New
But
York
I
City
got
somehow.
tired of the cold, so I went west.
Oh, jeez.
And so now you're surviving the cold here.
I know. I'm so mad about it. I'm like, I left the cold for a reason. Like, this is why I went West Coast.
So you can visit us in the spring, fall,
Absolutely.
and summer.
Yeah.
And what
I'll
we'll
drag
do,
Tori out
We'll
with me.
we'll do a Conjuring weekend. So we'll do Conjuring
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Conjuring 1 is probably my favorite. Conjuring 2, which is good with the nun.
Yeah.
And then you have Conjuring 3. And then is Conjuring 3 The Devil Made Me Do It, or is that number 4?
I think that's 3.
Is that number 3? Then they have the Nun
Annabelle.
series. Then they have Annabelle.
Yes.
And then is Insidious technically part of that franchise? I think Insidious.
I think it's in the same universe,
Yes.
but,
but it's not the same,
Not
like
the same.
continue.
Yeah.
Like it's not the consecutive series.
But it's the
Yes.
same universe.
Same universe.
Like,
And then there's the Nun, which is
okay. The Nun scares
scary
me.
by
Yeah.
itself. I actually, so every
La
time we watch
Llorona,
those movies,
like all of those.
yep. So when we watch movies like that, we are, so not that we're superstitious, but when we watch movies like that, I'll typically take Sage and like Sage the apartment afterwards.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
Here's how I know like
That's
somebody's
because
the one.
me and my daughter were haunted by the Nun.
After we watched The Nun, both Kirti and her daughter were like haunted by the Nun. They were like walking out into the hallway.
No,
her daughter
seriously.
kept thinking she was seeing the Nun.
We watched
went to
that
the
I
movie.
believe in
hallway. I
ghosts. I
saged
am
the whole
100% there
perimeter.
with you.
So
Like,
we've actually had ghost experiences.
okay, I need these.
Oh, we did have a go. Yeah, we have.
I'll tell
No,
you
like-
about
In
the one when I
Connecticut.
first moved to
Actually,
LA.
my stomach just cramped. Like I got like an ulcer pain. Just like
That might
thinking
be the
about it.
champagne.
No. I think it was the ghost.
Actually, does anyone need a refill? You look like you need a refill.
I'll have a
over there.
refill. But no, when I first moved to LA, I'll give this as a preface. The apartment I lived in was built in the 1920s. Mm-hmm. Like very old Hollywood. Thank you.
Refill?
Style.
You're welcome.
Like, and I swear to God, there would just be like random footsteps. My dog would stare into the corner of the apartment and start growling. Like lights would just randomly.
Animals know first.
Yeah, the lights would just randomly turn on. Once I went into my bathroom and my shower was running.
What?
Yeah. To be fair, I did drink the night before, so there is a small chance I turned the shower on and then passed out. But I don't think I would have done that.
That sounds really weird to do.
Yeah, that sounds like I've passed out drunk before, but not like that level of crazy. But I swear to God, this place was haunted.
That's definitely creepy.
That's definitely. We have a ghost experience. Do you
Yes.
want to start discussing that one?
In a nutshell, he and I were at his dad's house in Connecticut.
My parents are deceased.
They built a house.
Okay.
His dad just recently passed a few years ago. Mother passed 15 years ago. His grandfather passed there 16 years ago, 17?
No. He passed probably like 30 years ago.
30.
No, more than 30.
Okay. Wow. How old are you again? Okay. Okay.
My grandfather died when I was 13.
Okay, so not 30 years ago, like a little bit less.
30.
Oh, shit.
No,
Oh,
that's
damn.
like 35 years ago.
Babe, whoa.
Some realization just
Some
happened.
realization, yeah.
Some-
And my mom's been dead for not 15 years. She's been, my mom died
20 years?
19. Yeah, it'd be 19 years ago. It'd be 20 years
I think
in
I'm like
2014.
thinking about it since anyway, forget it. I'm whatever years ago, right? And we go to his house. It's July 4th weekend.
Yes.
And we go there a couple days before all our friends were actually going to come over and stay at the house with us. And his sister was not home, and they both share like the house. And she normally is there all the time, happened to not be there. Greg and I decide to like swim, order food, and then we were like, let's do a night of like scary movies, like in the TV room downstairs.
Oh, nice.
And-
Always the basement TV.
Yeah,
too.
it's like, so this is like, if you like know like a split level house,
Yeah.
like it's like sort of like the downstairs where it like goes out into the yard, and it's Connecticut, so it's like big hill of trees and grass and dark. It's dark, you know? It's
Yeah.
not like being in Manhattan. And then there's like another floor with a kitchen, a living room. You go another floor, there's
Yeah.
a bedroom.
And there's a floor that goes down to
The basement.
a basement,
Yeah.
which is also part on
Creepy.
ground level as well.
which
So-
I'm just going to say is creepy because it's unfinished. So for me, anything unfinished is
See,
creepy.
I loved basements growing up, though.
No,
like
I did too in my
That's
parents'
where my rehearsal
house.
studio and studio was for years. Yeah, down
But
there.
like, there's like that creepy basement smell, right? Like, anyway, like, so
I mean, I
it's there.
guess like it's
just the boilers
damp,
down there.
It's the damp smell.
Yes, that damp smell.
Well, actually, no, ours isn't damp because it's dry down there because our boiler's down there. It's partially finished. It's a different
But it
like
gives
dryness.
like the
it's not
humidity.
There's
like
no,
it's a damp
under,
smell.
It's under the soil. That section, it has a dampness.
one section is yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
basements, even finished basements, have a damp smell.
There is a damp smell. I know exactly what she means by damp smell. So long story short, we watch a movie. Then we both are like, let's watch another movie. So we
Yes.
like now we're like on a movie watching marathon, and they're like whatever stupid scary movies on Netflix. I
Yeah.
can't even remember the specific movie. I think one of them was like a Japanese like horror film or something.
But like
which they do
Asian
them
horror
well.
films are so good.
They're so
they are.
horror, right?
Like
And
Ringu, like those.
Incantation's one I watched recently.
Incantation's good.
well, also like Parasite, like all
Yeah.
these are really good, right? So, like we are watching, and then Greg and I are like, let's just maybe watch music videos and hang out, you know?
Yeah.
And get a bowl of ice cream. So we switched to watching music videos, and before we did that, the TV suddenly goes black.
Yeah, we're going from a channel
We're using streaming TV.
Yeah.
It should not have gone black. Andy.
going from like
and
video
the
to
power
another
didn't
video.
go out. It was
Nothing.
just like
the TV screen goes black.
black. This huge flat screen just goes black. And I'm sitting on this side of the sofa. Greg is sitting here.
yeah.
And I suddenly see a silhouette of a bald man.
Oh, absolutely not. No, thank you.
Right in the screen.
No, and I see it in the screen.
Nope.
And at first I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because it could just be Kirti's bad vision. Like, because I'm blind as a bat without contacts.
Fair.
So I'm like, maybe it's my bad contact vision. But then suddenly I see it move and I'm like, Greg, what do you see that?
Well-
and then he like was like, I see it too. It fucking grew.
No, hard pass. Absolutely not.
So the funny thing is, I wasn't going to say anything because I saw it, but I didn't want to say anything to
I
her.
didn't want to like incite panic.
Yes.
He didn't want to freak me out.
And then she's like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "Yeah." Do you see the same? I didn't even say, She said, "Did you see that?" I said, "Did you see the same thing I just saw?" Like
We didn't even describe it.
Describe it. And she said, "Yes." On the screen, I was like,
It grew.
Yes.
It freaking grew.
So then,
No, thank you. I do not like that.
so, but the thing is, so there wasn't any like cold, like they always depict it like with cold sensation. There's no cold sensation. I actually felt very warm and comfortable.
He did. I didn't.
So my grandfather,
You were in two different temperatures. Well,
two different temperatures. But my grandfather had actually died in that room many years ago, and
Exactly.
But I don't think. But we don't. At first we thought it was him, but then after speaking with some friends, then we thought it might have been my father. So now it doesn't end there. So we saw that. We end up staying down there.
What? Oh
Yeah,
my God.
check this out.
Oh, we were scared to move. I was frozen.
Oh, I wasn't frozen. I actually felt very. I was very
freaking
calming
out.
by it.
No. You were scared.
I wasn't scared. Come on.
You were scared.
I was a little. Maybe I was-
Bullshit.
okay
You
to
were
admit
scared,
vulnerability.
Greg.
I would say I was uneasy.
You were scared. You actually said, "Okay, I'm freaked out, but I don't know if it's bad." Like maybe
didn't
we're
feel-
just. You actually also were not 100% sold. We saw something
Yes.
really. Okay, and I kept saying, "No, there was something there. There was fucking something there," and I'm freaking out right
That's
now.
how I am. That's how I am.
And then he goes, "Babe, let's just keep watching music
Yeah.
videos." Like
so we're down there for like
supposed to.
another hour and a half. And
Watching music
watching
videos.
music
Stayed?
we stayed there
What? What?
because it disappeared, and so we stayed down there.
I would have like hauled ass to the next zip code.
So then,
Can we go back to Manhattan now?
Yeah, can we go back to Manhattan?
Yeah.
So then after that, we decide we're tired, so now we're going to go to bed. So we go upstairs. And meanwhile, Connecticut, everything's just dark. So the house is now dark. We're shutting off lights. We go up into bed. So we're in the bed, and in the bedroom, we have a TV right there. And at the base of the TV, there's always just some
Stupid
light on that's like with a logo or something like that.
You know how they put lights at the bottom of all
Yeah,
these
like
freaking
there's the
TVs?
red
And even
one
though, it's,
over there.
even though it's turned off, and now the light is casting a shadow to the top
Like that
corner of the room.
I don't like where this
in
is
like the
going.
same type of silhouette.
Yeah.
And so
No, I see it again.
Yeah. And so we're there, we're looking at it, we're talking about it. And I said to Kirti, I said, maybe I should go downstairs and see if I can communicate with it and see who it is
I'm
potentially.
like, why are you going downstairs? I
Because-
see it right there.
This is how people die in horror movies. They
That-
go, something
Yeah,
is
he's
wrong.
the one
Let
who would
me
be the
walk
first.
to the sound.
He would be the first one to get stabbed. He's like,
No.
let me
Yeah.
go hang out, make conversation.
He's like,
No.
let me go check it out. Like, oh, somebody's broken in and they have a baseball bat. Let me go talk to them.
well, there's
Also, that's my
you can't-
generic dude voice.
oh, I
the
love that.
generic-
I love that.
Well, there's a rule. There's a rule to scary
on
movies.
point.
There's a
on
rule to
point.
scary movies and who dies, right? You either have to, to die in a scary movie, you have to do like a combination of things. You have to do drugs and have sex, and then you're like one of the victims.
I feel like I would be one of the first victims. Probably not the first, but like maybe the second, because it's like the blonde thing.
The blonde
It's
thing.
like the blonde chick is always like the second or third one to go.
Well, I'm brown and brunette, so I'll be the last.
Yeah, you'll
be
make
like-
it
By
then.
rules,
You'll make it.
by horror movie rules.
Because like it's kind of always
Yeah.
the thing of like it's always the running joke. Like white people can talk themselves out of like any situation of like it's like Amityville horror. Like there's the flies. Oh, there's just a bug problem.
no, I'd be like,
Like-
get the SWAT team.
Yeah.
This shit's gonna be
Whereas
fixed.
I'm like, I literally once in my apartment in Hollywood when I used to live out there, I was on the first floor. I heard this racket like outside my apartment. What did I do? I walked over, turned the patio lights on, and opened the blinds to peek out, and it was somebody stealing my bike. And my first instinct wasn't to like make sure the door was locked. My first instinct was to yell out of the door. Oh. I did squash the instinct, just to be fair, and I turned the lights off and went back to bed and grabbed my pepper spray and put it in my nightstand. But
That's
like
good.
There was no pepper spray that was going to get rid of the thing
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw in the corner of
no.
this wall.
So have you
Yes.
guys watched Supernatural?
I'm not sure. Supernatural, actually.
Okay,
I don't know if we've seen
well-
that. Is that a movie?
No, it's a series. It's fine if you haven't.
Wait, let's talk about that after he tells you what happened
Oh,
next.
so now check out
This
what happens
story
next.
is
Yes.
not even over yet.
So we're in bed, and I said to Kirti, "Let me go downstairs and see if I can make contact." And she's like, "No, don't do it." And
No.
and then so at that
You don't
time,
fuck with ghosts.
You don't fuck with ghosts. But the thing is, what I was thinking is, my parents had we built the house. It wasn't like we bought the house, and there might be like some other history behind it.
Burial ground.
The only no,
could have been.
It could have been a burial ground, but I don't think so in that area.
Could have been a sacrificial ground.
You know, you never know.
it's Connecticut.
It's Connecticut. You never know. But so So, but the property never felt like that. It was actually, people loved coming to our house. Like, it was a very welcoming, warm environment. There was nothing ever negative.
Get to what happened.
So I decide, okay, I'm not going to go downstairs and try to communicate. But so we're in bed, and I
would not let you go.
She wouldn't let me go.
Smart.
So then I just decide to say,
Good woman.
So I decide to say, if there is a presence here, or if something is here, give us a sign. Before I finished the word, now it's late in the evening. It's like in the middle. It's like 2:30, 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
And before I finished the word sign, I was like, sign, like at that portion. All of a sudden, my phone starts to ring. With a jumbled number. It was my number.
And we keep our phone on Do Not Disturb.
And we keep our phones on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, my phone is almost always in Do Not Disturb.
It started ringing.
Absolutely
as
not.
I finished, like I didn't even finish the word sign.
The phone number that appeared, I started shaking because when he was like, "Why is my phone ringing?" and we both look at it, it's his own phone number, all jumbled up.
And did you guys stay the night though?
Of course we did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we
I slept like a
come in
baby
the next
and woke
day.
up the next day. We started
So
telling
you
friends
went
about
like
it.
things are going wrong. Let me bring more people in because they can be the sacrifices.
They were supposed to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're like, okay, like I guess they can be the sacrifices then.
Well, the thing is, actually, so a couple of our friends that
Smart.
came are
you
not
don't
mediums,
have to be the strong,
but they're
fastest. You
yes.
just can't be the slowest.
That's true. They're not the slowest. But a couple of friends that came over were not like mediums, but they were very like in tune with spirituality.
Yeah, they're very spiritual people.
And so we were outside. We have a pool, and then we normally have like a little bonfire going.
Oh, is this Justice?
It was Justice and Tanya.
And no, Tanya didn't come for July 4th.
Oh, that was a different time. Justice was there.
Justice
was there
and
for their
his cousin.
And his cousin, but it was Labor Day when Tanya came up, and Tanya had mentioned, she's like, I feel spirits.
No, but Justice told us
And
the next
Justice-
day, Greg.
well, Justice told us the next day.
morning.
So
Yeah.
basically,
we
this
saw
house
them.
is like haunted.
Yeah, it's actually haunted.
Yeah. Well, it's potentially haunted.
No, it's haunted.
That's the only. Well, I guess the other situation is
Right.
downstairs in the basement
Yeah.
that my
Okay.
sister saw.
So there's not only one instance, but two, and you're saying it's potentially.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the smart one in this relationship, Andy?
Like,
I didn't say it's not. I said it's potentially.
no, there's confirmation.
There's confirmation.
100% confirmation.
Talking confirmation, that's like a religious term. Why are scary movies and like all these movies that take place, not the slasher ones, but the Amityvilles, anything like that involves
Supernatural ones.
supernatural, always revolves around Catholicism and the Catholic religion. There's nothing in like Hinduism
because
or
we
like,
don't believe in ghosts.
You ever notice that? It's
So
always
that's
Catholicism.
why I was referencing like Supernatural earlier. TV show was on CW. It's ended now. Hate the last few seasons, but was great. Besides that, they like reference all different like deities and things like that from different religions. And
I feel like I might have seen this. Is it on Discovery or which channel?
it's on Netflix now, but it was on CW.
Okay.
Like, it's like one of my hyperfixation shows. It's
So
like
I've
that.
had-
Like,
Is it a drama or like do they use real footage?
like a documentary type thing?
no, it's like a like drama show.
Drama, okay.
But like
I wonder if
drama
we've seen that
supernatural
then.
show.
Well, Greg and I have a rule. We don't watch scary things that actually have real footage in
That use
it
real
in our own
footage.
home.
It's not real footage at all. It's all just like scripted entertainment.
because
you
that
know-
energy
you know why,
transfers.
right?
Yes, because I don't want that bad juju in my
no,
place.
exactly.
And they move through technology.
Yeah.
They,
They move
move
through
through
media.
wood.
I
they move
fully
through
believe that.
things, yeah.
And like
100%. And now after I saw dead people on TV screens, I ain't like gonna ever watch that shit.
But
Ever.
Supernatural, great show, highly recommend it. It is
should check it
15
out.
seasons, and each season's like 22 episodes, and they're an hour long. So like you're in for a commitment if you start.
We love this type of stuff.
No.
As
Yeah, we
long
do.
as we don't want. So we did watch, admittedly, a real kind of capture, remember, of ghost stories when we were at a hotel.
Oh, I love ghost stories.
Oh yeah, we'll only do it
we did
in like a
only
hotel experience
in a
where we're
hotel
not worried about like.
where it's
I'll watch
within-
them on my phone elsewhere.
like where it's like within the confines of another establishment, not in our own apartment.
Supernatural is like comedy supernatural sort of
Oh,
stuff.
okay,
It's
okay.
not real footage, anything like that. It's like I love that. I love Lucifer.
Oh yes, Lucifer
Like-
is a good
Oh, that's a show, Lucifer.
Lucifer is
right?
the
We're
show on
watching that with little K, remember?
Like, because also, like, can we just say Tom Ellis is Lucifer?
He's a good looking dude.
Oh, I didn't even realize that's him.
It's Tom Ellis. And also, like, He's so attractive.
He's very handsome.
Like, I will rewatch that show over and over again. We all have our comfort shows. Like, there's that. I love Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Recreation is a classic.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of. I've seen like I think pieces of it, but I've never really watched. Well, Kirti knows I'm not really a TV show person.
No, I
Okay,
know.
but like that one you need to watch. Like, so
Parks and
you've
Rec?
seen it.
Yes.
I know
I
it
like.
well, but
I
just
compare
haven't seen
myself to April.
Oh, isn't that what's her name?
Aubrey Plaza.
Yes, Aubrey. I could see.
Aubrey Plaza is mom.
So, did you see her at the SAG Awards?
Yes.
Or how about her in The White Lotus?
Well,
I
but,
love everything about her.
She's awesome.
like, she can hit me with her card and I'll say thank you.
I mean, she has the best eye roll.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I can do the thing where I roll my eyes all the way back.
Wait, let's see it.
Oh wow, that's almost kind of scary.
That that went into like the supernatural.
But it's either that or it's the.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
Yeah, there you go. That's
so
that's
Aubrey
the like
Plaza.
that's the
Yeah.
You know, you're bothering me. So Aubrey Plaza also has like the probably perfect resting bitch face.
Yeah, it's the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's just my relaxed face. Like, I'm not trying to look bitchy. It's just, but this is why everybody thinks I'm like so rude. Even like my old assistant at the salon, like when she first came in to like meet me, like she sees me looking like this. And then it's just like, hey, how's it going? And it's like the personality doesn't match the outside.
So it's like they almost want the. I can't even do a resting bitch face.
Just relax the brows.
Okay, wait. Let me try.
Close your mouth.
I'm going to start laughing. Okay. No, this is not going to work for me. Okay, hold on. Relax the brows. Okay, my brows are relaxed, I think.
And like the jaw, and don't close your mouth, just like rest it.
No, that's the don't fuck with me face.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what that face is? When Kirti does that face, that's like, oh shit. I better go to the bedroom because I'm going to get like reprimanded about something right now. She's
You're like,
pissed off.
Is that the I fucked up face?
That's the I fucked up face.
I guess I do have an RBF.
No, that's not an RBF.
No, that's the I'm inciting fear.
Yeah, that's when you see that, you run and hide.